This tutorial will walk you through how to create a chart in a Word document. So for example, if we wanted to chart some 8th grade math assessment score, we would go up to Insert and then click on Chart. This brings up a box, and if we wanted to look at straight line data, we click Line. I kind of like this line with markers, and then click OK. So this is our chart, and this is where we add the information for the chart. So for example, data for all districts, and then another one for a particular school district. And let's say this was spring 2014, spring 2016, and spring 2017. And all districts, this is just made up data, but all districts was 34 for that year, 39 for the following year, 36, and the final year it was 40. For a particular school district it was 36, and then it was 42, and then it was 45, and the final year it was 47. And we don't have any information for this, so I'm going to highlight and click Delete. And we can also open this, if we want to modify it more, we can open this in Word. And this brings up just the Word document where you can actually work with it a little bit better. So I'm going to right click on that after I click on D, click Delete. I'm going to highlight those and center up the data, maybe open it up a little bit. You don't really have to do all this, but I'm going to click on the whole table and put some boxes around it. So just to clean it up, but it's actually not absolutely necessary. So now we have spring 2014, 2015, 16, and 17, and it's kind of basic. So what we want to do is let's put the chart title. So I just clicked it one time, I got the box, but I'm going to highlight assessment. And I can make it larger if I want by going up to Home and clicking the A here, make it a little bit bigger. Now also you have other items over here that you can add or edit the chart. So for the first one, chart elements, I think I would like to add some data labels. If you hover over them, you see what happens. And I think I want to add a data table. That brings up your actual table down here. I do want a legend, and you can go to a box over here and put it on the right. So you just moved it from the bottom to the right. And I also noticed that the 34 and 36 there kind of look odd. It looks like, I'm not sure exactly which one is what. It's obvious that the 34 is the one below, but if you click on just the numbers and then use all 4 arrows, oops, I moved it. Click on them, move all 4 arrows, click and drag. I can put it below so that it presents the data a little bit better. These are both okay. Actually, let's move that one down a little bit. Oops, I move that down a little bit too. Move that one down. So that does look better. However, there's a lot of space down here. So to to change that, you have to double click, and when you see the little dots here, just put your cursor on one and do a right click, and then, oops, I did the wrong one. Right click and then format axis. And here's where you have the minimum and the maximum, and then how far apart each grid line is. So let's say the minimum, let's change that to 25. And let's change the maximum to 52. See how that looks. And we can also add more, like it's going by 5s right now. Let's cut that down to 3 and see how that looks. That's pretty good. And so we have the chart. If we want to add information to it, if we wanted to add another year, spring 2018, I simply click on it one time, it brings the box up. I go up to Chart Tools and Design, and then Edit Data, but I want to do that in Excel. And I click on the 5, and I want to insert. Actually, it dropped the 2017 down, so we'll put that back in. Spring 2017 and spring 2018. I'll move that 40 because that should be here. And then we'll report on our next year, spring 2018. We'll say all districts had an average of 42, and the school district that we're looking at actually went down to 46. As soon as we're done, simply X out. It doesn't. It did bring up the data. Sometimes it does not bring up the data. So, for example, this is how it will look after you add the data. But if you wanted to actually include it on your document, you click one time, add the filter, and then click and apply. So it just added that additional data. Okay, so that's how you create a chart in Word. There are many other things that you can do. So, for example, the chart area, you have a lot of different styles that you can look at. You can just click on one and see how it presents the data. So if we did click on that one, automatically what we see is that the legend is down at the bottom, and it doesn't look very good. It kind of gets in the middle of the table. So I want to go to Chart Elements, Legend, and we'll move it back out to the right. So it brings it out here. You also don't have, every single one is a little bit different, but you can change up the charts to really look any way that you want.